Hey friends, how you doing? It's Monday. Welcome back to Hot News. What did you guys do for this weekend? Let me know down in the comments. Did any of you attend LTX? I didn't, because they have Northern Hemisphere superiority complex where they won't invite any Southern Hemisphere curators. I'm not bitter. I'm bitter for Hardware Unboxed. Anyways, that was a joke, just in case anybody doesn't know. Let's talk about today's video sponsor, which is UFD Deals. In case you're looking to build a new PC and you want to make sure you're getting the best deal on the parts, why don't you check out UFD Deals first? Because that way you can see what the best deals are on the tech products. You want a new processor, motherboard, RAM, whatever, check it out, UFD Deals. Go to ufd.tech to get to the website. Links in the video description for all of that. Big thanks to .tech Domains for actually hooking us up with the website. Anyways, let's talk about the actual hot news, which is what's going on today, which is more Ryzen chips. AMD is going to be bringing out some new stuff. What? It's kind of intriguing. So it's not just the fact that we're getting new Ryzen chips. There are some Pro models, which most people don't care about. We even did a video on what's the difference between regular Ryzen and Ryzen Pro back on the UFD Tech channel over a year ago. Nobody cared. It's not something people care about, but we're getting new mainstream chips, including a new Ryzen 9, Ryzen 7, and Ryzen 5 as listed in the EEC, or the Eurasian Economics Commission, which kind of has listings of everything that's happening. So, as you would expect, Ryzen 9 is going to have 12 cores, 24 threads, but it's going to have a TDP of 65 watts. The Ryzen 9 3900, then you got the Ryzen 7 3700, no X, and then the Ryzen 5 3500. All of them are going to have the same cores and threads as the alternatives, with a key few things being differentiated, which it looks like the main difference between all of it is going to be the base and boost clock, and you will get a lower end version for the Ryzen 9. I understand them needing to have a 65 watt part versus a 105 watt part. That part makes sense, but the other ones are also 65 watt parts to the 65 watt alternatives that are already out. So I guess like this is gonna be the lowest bin stuff that AMD possibly has, so don't expect much overclocking. This is essentially probably going to be the leftovers that AMD is shipping out. Honestly, there's a lot of intrigue here as to what AMD specifically is going to be coming out with these new Ryzen 3 parts. But if they're cheaper, if you can get a 12 core, 24 thread, 65 watt TDP thing that has a 3.2 gigahertz base and a 4 gigahertz boost, and it only costs you $450, sign me up. I'm down with the sickness on that one. That makes me happy. I would like to see that. You know what Intel likes to see though? Shipping 10 nanometer parts, because that's what's happening. They are starting to ship out some 10 nanometer Ice Lake CPUs to OEMs. Doesn't really mean a whole lot. It's not going to be on the desktop side of things. It's going to be in the mobile side of things. So don't get too excited. They're also going to be shipping with Gen 11 graphics, which should hopefully result in a net improvement over the HD 530 is what they're still based on from Skylake days. It's pretty bad. I mean, when you haven't increased in APU performance in 5 years, but then AMD is coming in and wrecking with Vega, there's not a whole lot that you have to do to inspire excitement. But hopefully the iGPUs with Gen 11 graphics that are supposed to break 1 teraflop of performance, which is almost a 1030 level, it could be quite good. We'll see if these are actually worth anything, or I don't know. It's Intel. They're nothing but disappointment at this point. And Microsoft, speaking of disappointment, they are going to be slowing down their biannual Windows 10 update cycle. Usually they have one towards the end of the first quarter and then one towards the end of the third quarter. That's how they've been, like a spring and fall update is how they've been rolling things out. Well, now they're gonna stop doing that and just kind of focus more on incremental updates rather than these major massive overhauls, which is probably good considering, what was it, the October update last year took 6 months to actually roll out because it was bricking everybody's systems, deleting files. It was just a massive nightmare, which they could have solved by not firing their quality checkers way back when. I mean, that's why Barnacules lost his job, is because they laid off the entire quality and analysis department for the updates. This is your own fault, Microsoft, okay? You're now reaping the rewards of firing people. Speaking of fire, fire is red. And we're going to be talking about Red cameras right now because they're teasing out a new compact Komodo camera, which potentially might go along with the Red Hydrogen 2, which is supposed to go out. We didn't cover this in hot news last week, but Red, in the discussion of the new Hydrogen smartphone, basically said it's not our fault. The Chinese ODM that we worked with for the phone sucked major butt. And so we have to now, we're going to be using a new ODM, and they should actually allow us to achieve our vision with the Red phone. It just, any phone that requires attachments and accessories is doomed to fail, in my opinion, no matter if it's made from freaking LG or Motorola or Red. As soon as you have to start adding attachments, it doesn't make sense. Get a cheap Red camera or just get a dedicated camera. This Sony a7 III that we're filming hot news on cost us $2,000. The Red Hydrogen 1 cost $1,300. That doesn't make any sense. It's not, it doesn't, no. Unless they're going to knock it out of the park with this, I don't see it being worth it, but obviously, Red shills. Just let me know your feelings down below. Speaking of shills, let's talk about Tesla now. They've announced that they will be adding Netflix and YouTube to Tesla cars. However, the caveat is at this point, you have to be parked in order to use that feature, so you can use it while, let's say you're supercharging while you're on the road. You could just pop open some Stranger Things Season 3 while you're waiting for your car to charge and then be on your merry old way. However, there was the addendum that once legislators actually approve of autonomous driving, then it will be a feature that can happen all the time and not just for when you're parked. The future is now, old man. Speaking of the future, you have a Nintendo Switch? Because I certainly do, because of the hacks and the overclocking and Linux. Well, now, finally, as of, I believe it was yesterday or Saturday, Switchroot came out and said that they finally have Android working on the Nintendo Switch. And by working, not the demo that we've been seeing out on the internet, but like full Joy-Con support, everything actually properly basically works. It's using a version of Lineage OS, and basically it is replicating an Nvidia Shield. So that means you get access to all of the Shield stuff that you could do, or the Tegra exclusive stuff like Borderlands and Half-Life 2. On your new Switch, but then also you have access to all of the Android ecosystem. The thing that I am super pumped about is that I can use PS4 Remote Play on my Android Switch, which will then allow me to play Persona 5 on my Switch. It is the best use case. Don't argue, don't at me. Switch, Persona, it was meant to happen. Fire Emblem is basically like the Switch version of Persona, but I'm super excited. But also you can do things like Nvidia game streaming, so you can play freaking whatever game you have on your PC on your Switch. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that's an Android game, now on your Switch. This is amazing. Obviously, this is only applicable to those people who bought a Switch before they patched the Tegra exploit, so go ahead. One of the key concerns that a lot of people have about this is that Nintendo is gonna find out and block you, except for the exploit happens before the bootloader even boots up on the Switch, so Nintendo's not even gonna know that you're using it as an Android device. It's impossible. It's impossible at this point. They can't patch it, they can't do nothing. So you're good to go. We're gonna have a video coming out on this on the UFD Tech channel on Sunday. So get subscribed for that. Check out the UFD Tech channel right up there. Check out our Switch overclocking video up there. Actually, that's the most important thing. Check out our Switch overclocking thing, where we used the hack Switch and then overclocked it, which you can do on Android as well. You can change the clocks. And speaking of Nvidia Shield Tegra stuff, the FCC just received a filing that's pointing that they're gonna update the Shield TV for anybody who cares. And then Sony, trying to make sure that global warming doesn't come to your body, no body warming for you. They are kickstarting, or crowdfunding rather, an air conditioning made for you. You put it on your clothes and then it air conditions your back. It's a lovely, lovely little invention. It's called the Rion Pocket. It's pretty dope. I actually kind of like it. I mean, one of the weird cyclical issues with global warming is that we use our air conditioners to keep us cool from the heat, but then the air conditioners just make more heat and produce global warming, so they produce global warming. That's a thing that just it comes out, okay? So yeah, weird, it's suckle. In case you care about Apple at all, which might or might not. Anyways, the huge issue with Qualcomm being resolved and them finally getting the 5G chips, it looks like all of Apple's iPhone models coming in 2020 will feature 5G. They're a day late and $1 short on the new cellular technology, just like they were with LTE. I think they were, what, 2 generations late on that when you compare it to the Android alternatives. So 5G already rolling out in a lot of major cities on a lot of major phones. I mean, every major phone brand that I know of besides Apple has 5G versions. So good job, Apple. Way to be behind and cost a lot more, but you're gonna make more money than everybody else, so what does it matter? Technically, it doesn't exist until Apple does it. Speaking of not existing, Corsair says that they're not going to exist in the graphics card and motherboard department, or at least they have no plans to as of yet, as they continue marching towards their path of world domination with cases, power supplies, RAM, and now the company Origin, where they're a boutique manufacturer, they said that they're gonna hold off. Obviously, this didn't include their partnerships with MSI to produce the Seahawk, which I believe the 20 series Seahawk is actually in partnership with EK, not Corsair. There might be a Corsair version. I don't know. I'm not looking it up right now. I'm brainstorming out loud. Let's talk about the next article, which is the Hayabusa 2 rocket snatched some rocks from an asteroid. And by rocket, I mean it was a satellite. They yeeted, yoinked. They anti-yeeted rocks from an asteroid, Ryuga. It's kind of cool. We can now do Armageddon, the movie, with Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck. There's 2 superheroes in that movie. You got Batman and the Unbreakable dude. And then you have the elf lady, Liv Tyler. Armageddon was a precursor to a whole lot. Wait, did it come out after Unbreakable? Probably. Anyways, let's move on to the last one, which is Fortnite. The World Cup just happened and they gave out $30 million in prizes. This is in part of the $100 million commitment that Epic Games made towards the esports stuff. This is also after a long controversy of Epic really just not knowing how to properly run an esport and rolling out major patches days before tournaments where it could actually nuke the entire scene and change the meta completely. Yeah, they don't care. They just, oh, we did a new update, you can have rolly balls. But a lot of minors actually winning, and minors not like graphics card minors, but like young children winning this. Several people bringing home millions of dollars who are under 18. What do you think about this? Do you think that children should be allowed to play in professional esports, or should it be like actual professional sports where you have to be either out of college or over 18 because of the time dedication that should go into a career, or because of we don't know the effect that sports has on children's brains? Esports, I don't know. What's your argument? Let me know down below. Anyways, that's where I'm going to end Hot News today. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Check out UFD Deals if you're trying to save money on your tech products in case you're trying to build a PC for Fortnite. Get a Ryzen chip and get a Navi card. You'll be Fortnite all day. Get into that next World Cup. Anyways, I'm Brett with the UFD Hot News thing. See you in the next one. Bye.